Hey guys, it's Nelly. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to checkmate a king, a lone king, using just a king and a rook. So, let me go ahead and open up this. What this is just it's a training bot that lets you have a king and a rook, and you have to checkmate the black king. So that's what we're going to do, and I'm just going to explain the thought process behind it as we go along. So, basically, the idea is you want to make a box with your king and your rook. Well, with your rook. You're going to have to use your king to help it. But you basically make a box with the rook, and you just keep making it smaller and smaller until you get this king, the black king, into the corner, one of the corners, or the side of the board. So, for example, let's go here. And so, as you can see, this is my box right now. And I'm going to need to bring my king closer to help my rook. Okay, so now my rook's being attacked, so I'm going to come back here towards my king, and I'm still keeping him in a box. Okay, so here's the box. I want to protect it with my king, and you're just going to keep making the box smaller. So if I go here, it makes it a little bit smaller than before. Okay, now it doesn't really matter. I have two choices. I can go here or here. Both of them make it a little bit smaller. I'm just going to go with this one, but it doesn't really matter. And you're always going to want to keep your king kind of close to your rook, so I'm just going to keep doing that. Okay, so again, I can make the box a little bit smaller. And again, a little bit smaller. And I need to keep my king close and make the box a little bit smaller. And I need to bring my king a little bit closer. Okay, so now I can't make the box any smaller by moving my rook, because if I move here, he's going to escape. His king will be able to run this way, so that would make the box a lot bigger. So if you get in a case like this, you just move your king somewhere, so like here. And then he has to move, and now I can make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so he only has two places to go. This is what you want. You want him to have just two places to move, back and forth, and then you have to get your king in the right position. So, bring my king over here. Bring it over once more. Okay, so now he's in the corner. He can't move up this way because my king's here. And all I need to do is bring my rook down here, and it's checkmate. Now, I want to show you something. Sometimes you can get into a position like, let's see. If I go here, he goes. Okay, so what I have now, it's the same position before, except his king is over here. Okay, which makes a big difference, because before I was going to just move my rook here and get checkmate. Well, right now, if I move my rook there, his king will just take it. Okay, so what you have to do is what's called a waiting move. It's basically, if you could pass right now, I would just say pass, I don't want to move, and he would have to move his king over, and then I could get checkmate. Well, you can't pass in chess, so what you do is you play a waiting move, which is just moving your rook somewhere back here. Okay, it can be anywhere. So I'm just going to move it back one, and it forces him to make the only move available, his king over there, and then now I can play checkmate. Okay, so I just wanted to cover that little tricky situation. Sometimes that happens. And the other thing, when you're making the box smaller, so I'm just going to back up a couple moves here. So when you have a position like this, for example, if you go ahead and move your rook here to make the box as small as possible, that's a stalemate, okay, which means black's king can't move, okay, because if he tried to move, he'd be attacked by the rook, but it's not in check either. So it's a stalemate, which is bad. You don't want a stalemate. That's a tie. It's a half point each. You want to win. You want to get a checkmate. So you don't ever want to make the box too small that happens. So if you get to this position, instead of moving your rook over, you would just bring your king over, and then you would have to do the waiting moves. You move your rook somewhere back here, and when he moves over, you just go checkmate. Okay, so that's the only thing you have to be careful for. Just don't get a stalemate. But that's how you checkmate with the rook and a king against a king. It's pretty straightforward, but I hope that helped you guys out, and I'll catch you in another video.